If you wanted to turn, you just moved your hands and slowly she went. She really was the perfect...
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Filmmaker Reacts. Today we're going to be looking at the War Thunder teaser trailers part 2. Today we're going to be looking at the F4C Phantom 2? I don't know what it's called. And Legends Spitfire. So these are videos that somebody has sent me. Well, Spitfire is one that I've looked at before. And we're just going to be reacting to them. Anyways, let's hop right into it. Ooh. Okay. Ooh, that audio switch. Everything's happening so fast. That is some crazy cinematography straight off the bat. Oh, that going underneath? Hey! Oh my gosh, that build up! Oh! Hey! Oh my gosh, this is epic! There's so much going on in this first couple seconds. I don't know much about planes, but this is epic. Tracer rounds, let's go. Was this all shot in-game? This can't be shot in-game. F4C Phantom 2. Okay. War Thunder. Okay. Let's hop into this. Let's just rewatch this first couple seconds because there's so much happening. Okay. So we do a classic reveal shot. Right. I have the plane fly into the shot just to show a bit more dynamics. Cutting in between, like, extremes. They're going from extremes, like close-ups to wide angles. Here we go. We have a bullet movement. That's an amazing like tracking shot right here. Just gonna go back a couple. Right here, when they followed it round. Right here. That was like an Inception mode, so on a gimbal they have this mode, this kind of recent actually, I'm not sure. But it basically just puts the camera into like a rotation perspective. They did that here. Right here. So it's sort of rotating and maintaining, trying to keep the plane centered at the same time. Which was, it just gave this really cool vertigo effect. And I just genuinely like that. And then they, transition back into like the following shot. So I think they had a bit of movement. Yeah, there we go. So they had it right here, and cut on movement as the wing comes down. They follow it as well, which was done really well. Cutting back to the close-ups, fly past the cameras because this movement. That's slow motion. This is the sound design right there. It's just so powerful because it goes so slow and then back into. It's just the drone and the pure sound of it. It's just so heroic. To create trailers, they often have like this thing called rises and impacts or like base hits. This whole opening sequence, this whole like first minute or so, is just that. And then it hits, that's a base hit. And it was just done so well. And then the music kicks in, and then they've got something to pace to, but that whole opening section was just so well done with just building up action with the sound, because there was pretty much nothing here. It was just basically just pure sound. Like, I had so much control. And the cinematography is basically just implementing close-ups, medium close-ups. You really do feel like you're in a war. Everything's moving so fast. I think that's sort of the impact that they're trying to get. And in that slow motion, and the sound, it goes vroom, it ramps into it. It's done so well. And then the lever to change the pace. So yeah, right there, they had probably, if I was doing it, I'd probably do it handheld just to get a bit more effect. Basically just turning the camera. Kind of nicely done. And then missile, tracking the missile, and then boom. Slow motion. Logo reveal. This part is just, it's just nicely shot and composed. Transition from night to day. Really well, smoothly done. Showcasing the plane. They've got a lot of camera shake, I've noticed. Just everything is moving. Like every shot, most shots, like a good sort of 80% of this, is moving. Or they've got some type of camera movement in the shot. Even if it's just like, even if they're just holding still, so like, right here, there's still a bit of camera wiggle, just to follow, sort of like stabilized onto the action. And right here they do a final cool reveal. Just so well done. But yeah, but every shot seemed to have a bit of wiggle, a bit of motion, a bit of movement to it, which is kind of epic. Right, you're right there. Final impact. Pull out. This would be shot if this was real life. It'd probably shoot it on a gimbal, and do the inception mode, and basically just walk out. A trick that some people like to do is actually shoot it in reverse. So you start in focus, like closer to your subject, and then you just basically just walk back, rather than walking into focus. These shots are actually quite hard to do. I've tried to do a couple of them before, and just maintaining focus is really, really hard. So it just takes lots of practice, and probably done it a couple times. Okay, so that was the F4C Phantom 2 trailer. Really liked it. Now let's move on to Legends Spitfire. This is one that I've seen before, and I basically started playing War Thunder. Well, I started and quit pretty quickly, but I started playing because of this trailer. It was just so well composed, and let's just see if it still is. Okay. Gaijin Entertainment.
I've flown jets right up to the Venom, but nothing like her. Nothing like a Spitfire.
So well composed.
It was a super aircraft. It was, absolutely. It was so sensitive on the controls. There was no heaving or pulling, pushing and kicking. You just breathed on it when you wanted. If you wanted to turn, you just moved your hands and slowly she went. She really was the perfect flying machine. I've never known anything sweeter.
That's a good shot.
When you first got into the seat and opened the throttle, it felt as if someone had given you a good kick up the bottom, and away you went.
The British never gave us any flight manuals, just word of mouth. We'd ask them what we could and couldn't do, and they'd say, hell, you've got a fighter plane. You can do anything you want. Straight down, full throttle, put your feet on the upper rudder pedals and pull back as hard as you can. Nothing's going to happen.
At the beginning of the war, we flew short-range missions and encountered Spitfires, which were superior. I
don't
think
even know
that
what to
the
say.
Supermarine Spitfire was the most dangerous to us early on. I flew a Spitfire myself, and it was a very, very good aircraft.
So well done.
If you were attacked when you were flying a Spitfire during the war years, you turned hard into the attacking aircraft, and they just couldn't get behind you. It was much more maneuverable than the German aircraft.
Okay, this part.
If you treated a Spitfire properly, it treated you properly. Treat it roughly or be careless with it, and you were in trouble. I don't think we should ever forget what the Spitfire did for England. It was virtually England's saving grace.
So good. So good. I don't even know what to say. It's such a good shot. Like, it does what it's... I don't even know what to say. It's just so well crafted. It starts off pretty slowly. Like, the whole thing has a narration through it, which basically just leads and drives the entire story. It's so heroic and so emotional, I guess you can say, because it's sort of recounting what's happening, but at the same time, because it's a recreation of like what's happening in game.
Nothing like a Spitfire.
They do like the opening shots, like right here. They're all so long, and you can sort of take everything in. This is sort. I guess I like it a lot because it's a lot like my style.
Absolutely.
Because it's. This is shot like a documentary, essentially.
Sensitive on the controls.
Every shot doesn't really have... It's not interviewish. It's sort of shot like a B-roll sequence, essentially.
No heaving or pulling and...
Everything that they say is done. So, essentially, they've probably, like, fit the visuals to the audio. So they probably... If I was going to make this, a similar thing like this, I'd probably get the audio first and then fit the B-roll to it, rather than fit them both at the same time.
If you wanted to turn, you just moved your hand.
So yeah, they don't really go in... There's nothing elaborate or complicated about these shots. It's just slow, and you get to admire every shot, every scene, and they're just so well composed. Like right here, just every shot really. You can see it. You can feel everything. The music slowly building up as well.
You just breathed on it when you wanted. If you wanted to turn, you just moved your hands, and slowly she went.
They say they turn their hands. They show the turning of their hands. It's amazing.
I've never known anything sweeter.
When you first got into the seat and opened...
Again, they say they get into the seat. They show the seat. It's quite simple the way they've constructed this first opening part. Essentially, the first like minute or so is the part which I love.
A good kick up the bottom, and away you went.
I think they've just did a pull focus right here, but you see every shot is not too long. Yeah, so I think they had.
The British never gave us any.
So they pulled focus, which is basically. Yeah, pulling focus as they walked into the scene with motion, which is quite nice.
Just word of mouth. We'd ask them what we could and couldn't do, and they'd say, hell, you've got a fighter plane. You can do anything you want. Straight down, full throttle, put your feet on the up.
They like to linger with their shots, and it's basically the sequence from beginning to end. It's just like one flowing motion. It feels as if it's like a journey compared to the first like teaser trailer that I just watched. That was choppy. That was action, full on action, cutting between different shots. This is cutting, but on motion. It's just so heroically done.
Pedals and pull back as hard as
like right there, it goes down. It flows into the next scene.
Nothing's going to happen.
Right there, flowing into the next scene.
We flew short-range missions and encountered Spitfires, which were superior. I think that the Supermarine Spitfire
right there, they cut on motion again.
Was dangerous to us early on. I flew a Spitfire myself, and it was a very...
Those shots, they probably...
And it was a very, very good aircraft.
Yeah, very complicated to do. And here they're just showing like a mini montage. They're actually like... They're cutting on the beat. They actually... That's not something that I've seen a lot. But here, when they transitioned, they actually did a dip to black. Just to let the music play. And the music fades out, sort of lets your imagination wander a bit. It's really well done.
If you were attacked when you were flying a Spitfire during the war years, you turned...
They let the orchestral score dictate it, and it's propped up so strongly
Hard
by
into the attacking aircraft, and
by
they
the
just couldn't get
voiceover.
behind you. It was much more maneuverable than the German aircraft. If you treated a Spitfire
And here they have to
properly,
show
it
what's
treated you
happening,
properly.
but
Treat it roughly or be careless with it, and
exactly,
you
they're
were
showing
in trouble.
it's
I
just
don't think
composed
we should
well.
ever forget what the Spitfire did for England. It was virtually England's saving grace.
They're letting the shots and the plane tell itself rather than just forcing it down on you, which I love. War Thunder. Victory is ours. Anyways, that has been Filmmakers React to War Thunder Part 2. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.